Hi everyone, my name is Haider Rifaat and you're watching the Haider Rifaat Show Season 8 specials. Today it's an absolute honor for me to be here with Mahira Khan, who is one of the leading actresses of Pakistan's entertainment industry. We're going to have a very constructive conversation with her about a variety of things. So please allow me to welcome Mahira on my show. Mahira, thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure having you.
You're most welcome. This is long overdue.
Yes, thank you so much, Myra. So, now you've already have this established presence in Pakistan and all over the world as this celebrity, as this actor. So, looking back in hindsight, um, how would you assess your journey in the realm of the entertainment industry overall? What positives and negatives have you had the chance of experiencing?
Well, I would say it's mostly positives. I think it's a rare thing for someone to dream of something and to be able to live it. So for me, it's me living my dream, and I'm aware of that every second, every day. Obviously, there are days that I forget. There are very few moments that I forget, when something goes wrong, or I'm in pain, or someone has hurt me, or there's some trolling. That's when I'm like, oh my God, I wish, what is this? But I never ever in my entire career have thought, I wish I didn't do this. So obviously the positives are way more, way, way more. Like I said, first being that I'm living my dream. I love what I do. I enjoy my job. I enjoy the people I work with. I get to play all these characters. I get to meet people who are so creative, which I don't know if any other job would have allowed me that. I don't know if I would have thrived anywhere else apart from an environment that was creative. So I love that. The negatives, obviously, are okay, we become because we are public personalities. There is an element of the public owning us. There is a feeling of that, and to a certain degree, of course, we are theirs. I am my fans, but I'm also myself. And before everything, before me being an actor, before me being a mother, even, I am me. And then I'm all these other things. And so sometimes that gets in the way when you are trolled, or you are expected to be a certain way or do certain things. Some of you gets lost in that.
Right. But by what you're saying, I've heard that you don't have regrets.
No, none.
So it's good that you learn from your experiences and you grow as a person. So
Yeah,
so
yeah. But
that's
I have no regrets, none whatsoever.
right, right. Mara, you're regarded in the industry as in Pakistan's industry as the kindest person. I've heard it from many people. Why do you think
Okay.
people identify you that way?
No one's ever asked me that. I don't know. That's very that's very kind of them to think that I'm the kindest. But I think I really don't know. If they're saying that, if people do say that, and I hear that a lot as well. I hear a lot of things. But I try not to put any sort of badge on myself,
Hmm.
whether it is the most, the kindest, the most popular, the most this, the most that. That that is not for me to decide. That is for everyone else to talk about. But for me, it's all of these tags don't really matter. If I am kind, then I am kind, and I don't do that so that you you praise me. That's who I am. If people think that that's who I am, then that's fine, or that's nice. That's really nice. But that is who I am. I'm not acting, or I'm not trying to be someone else.
Right.
I genuinely uh, think we all are equals.
Mhm.
I try not to think that I'm better or bigger than anybody else. So for me, it's very important that I respect everybody. And again, it's not because what do they think of me? It's what I think of myself.
Right.
It has a lot to do with that. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think I've tried to, in my career, I have tried to not be unkind because there are certain times, you know, Heather, like you do feel hurt and you do feel like, oh, I want to say this.
Yeah.
But how does it matter? You know, if you come down to a level of which you don't like already. So I don't like what someone else is doing, but then I bring myself down to that level. It's what happens in that with that is there are huge pros to that, but the only con with that is that you deal with a lot of pain and hurt all by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And
That's
because we
it's hard being kind sometimes.
yeah, well, yeah, I wouldn't say it's hard actually. I think it's the easiest thing to do, to be kind. I find it to be very easy. I find it very hard to be unkind. I find it very hard to tell someone off. Um, I feel very guilty when I do that. I
Mm.
do, mm, yeah, that's what I think. What I find hard is that there are times where as an actor, you're working, you're delivering all this heavy stuff. You're not only just carrying emotional baggage from your home or what you're going through in your life, but
Mhm.
you also are taking on the emotional baggage of your character.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're on set, and sometimes you just are angry, and sometimes it's not your anger. Sometimes you're sad, and sometimes it's not your sadness, it's the character's sadness or your own. But because you are in a position where everybody's looking at you and looking to, you know, for you, for that energy or for the kindness or the smiles or the happiness, sometimes it's a dream. Very few times, but it is, you know.
It is.
Uh, it is, yeah. Sometimes I want to, like when I take a big break from social media, everybody should know that I'm not in a nice, good place, you know.
Yeah.
I just need time off because when I do post a picture, do post something, I want it to be happy. I want it to be positive, you know. Um, so yeah, basically you deal with your sorrows alone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's important to have a good support system at home and like
Oh
around
yeah.
you. And they can really like keep your mental peace stable
Oh yeah.
and have that support system. Having that support system is really, really critical.
Oh
Have
yeah.
you had that kind of a support system?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I have I think I mean my family, my brother, my mother, my father, my child. These are very, very important people in my life who bring that stability and who also bring me to reality. This is also this is also, these are the people who are there, who I love so much. They're my like most important. And then there are my friends, you know, and my close people, some very special close people who are there to support me and who see me going through a tough time.
Yeah.
And maybe they can't relate, but because they love me, they feel for me, and so they're there for me, you know. So yeah, not everybody can relate. I don't think any of them can relate to what I go through because we all have unique lives, right? Maybe I can't relate to what you're going through. And especially me, I'm in a position which is hard for people to relate, you know? So if I tell them that this is affecting me and my character did this and it affected me, and today at work, this is what happened. And while I was enacting the scene, I got a call about my child being unwell. It you know, it's a bit like, okay, so we all get a call, but then I'm in this position where I also am looking at something where there's trolling happening for no reason and this happening and that happening. So maybe it's hard to relate. But when I think you love someone, you try to understand where they're coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. And definitely experiences cannot be quantified. So it's like very layered. It's a very layered
Yes,
um
that's very true.
Yeah. So, Myra, moving on, I want to talk a bit about the state of women's rights in Pakistan. Now, in the past, you have been vocal about many substantive issues related to bullying, Why I March, which was in response to a controversial Aurat March in Pakistan. Rising rape cases have been making headlines, and they continue to do so in Pakistan. And also regarding tense relations between India and Pakistan, you have been vocal about all of this. So, do you think that public figures often take their profession for granted and avoid talking about pressing social issues that affect the society at large? Do you think are they not being responsible enough in in their capacity to impart positive change?
You're asking me to comment on others, you know, and I think I just don't want to do that because I understand where they're coming from, you know. We as actors stick our necks out, and we are the easiest targets of them all. We are the easiest targets. If someone, let's say a journalist, or let's say a writer, let's say anybody else says something and passes their opinion, it does not get that many tweets, likes, retweets, headline news as, let's say, if I would have done it or another actress would have done it, right? So we are easy targets, and we are then used, whether it's by news or by journalism or by social media or by political parties, we are then used as baits, as easy targets, right? To put a point across. So I don't blame them. I really don't blame anybody who doesn't stand up for what they probably believe in, uh, for what they also feel is wrong. I don't blame them. I I know where they're coming from. They don't want to get into this, you know. Like I can tell you, when I do this, my mother, that's the first call I get, you know. Or when I go downstairs, that's the first thing I get told. Why did you say this? Aren't you thinking about us? Aren't you thinking about your child? You know. So that is a very normal thing to think about, you know, that hey, what you say, does it make a difference? And that's something you can tell me. When I speak out, does it make a difference? Because if it doesn't make a difference, if I'm going to be trolled, if I'm going to go through days of, oh my God, what have I said? Oh my God, they're now abusing me. Now they're abusing my parents, my child. Then you think, what's the use of doing that? So I get where they're coming from. And a lot of times I've been like, man, forget it. I won't write anything. Because my manager has been like, Mahira, please don't. So the times that you've seen me talk, it's always like 5 in the morning. I'm alone and I'm pissed, you know? Those are the days. But do I do it? Yes, I do. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just something.
Sorry to cut you off, Myra, but like, don't you think when you're frustrated in those moments, you're being your real self? Because
Yes.
that's when you feel like you're really passionate about something and you want to vocalize about these issues. But oftentimes, it's also very much PR backed. You don't want to get into this mess because there's a lot of PR backing that is backing celebrities and saying this will kind of ruin your image, or you should not be talking about these controversial issues. But again, actors come with a certain kind of social responsibility, and that responsibility rests with them sometimes. And I understand, like, many celebrities do not want to talk about these issues because it comes from a place of, not subscribing to something that they feel passionate about, or like maybe they do not want to simply talk about it. But what is your take on that overall?
Well, the thing is, look, I've never had PR. I just have no PR. I've never had it. I don't have it. I have one manager, and that's it, who manages my dates. The rest is all me. My social media accounts are mine. I don't have anybody putting my pictures on blogs. Every social media blogger journalist knows that.
Mhm.
In fact, I am messaging myself saying, take this off, just don't put this on. You know, I don't like certain things going up. Um, so yeah, I don't have PR. So I can't speak for what PR tells you to do. But when I said my manager or my brother, these are people who are with you 24/7 and they see the effect that it has on you.
So, Myra, building on this, do you as a woman feel unsafe in Pakistan?
Uh, you know, I'm not a good person to be asked this because I am in a position where I'm safer than most people. But do I feel my my Nasreen, who works in my home and she's like family to me, do I feel she's safe when she's going back home? No, no, you know.
Right.
And nobody's really safe, it seems like, um, you know, women specifically. And it's not about the clothes, it's not about what you do. It's just that we aren't safe, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on, Myra, you were also appointed as a National Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. So, how do you foster change with your role as a Goodwill Ambassador, and what progress have you made to this role so far? In this
Well,
role?
we have actually made, I would say we've made some progress. The fact that refugee and Afghan refugees in Pakistan, we've always looked at it as, even though we've been one of the best hosts for refugees in world over, we're not a rich country. We are in many ways struggling to get to a place where we can be stable as a country. And still, over all these years, can you imagine, over all these years, we have hosted millions of refugees. That's huge. So, but the stigma attached to them is still there, right? Because what happens is that people over here, which you can understand that it's a normal thing to feel that, hey, we're not providing for our people. Why are we having people come into our country? That's a very normal thought, natural thought that people have. And that's the thought that we want to sort of destigmatize. We want to talk about it, and we want to say that, look, this is what we're doing. We are actually bringing people who have no homes, who've been displaced, thrown out of their homes. There isn't a worse feeling than that. They are practically nameless, homeless people now, and
Yeah.
we're giving them a home. And you guys should support it, because they will eventually become citizens, maybe, of our country, and we have to educate these people. We have to do that, and that is something that we should all be a part of, because everybody in this world matters, and especially the people who are now living in your country. So I think we have made progress. Every time I do post something, every time I do go out and talk to people, there has been a little bit of change that I have seen, for sure.
And also, you collaborated with Hollywood celebrities Ben Stiller and Riz Ahmed to raise awareness about seeing or perceiving refugees differently.
Yeah.
So, how did this movement help at all or contribute to the cause?
Yes, of course. Of course. It's like any cause, Heather. It's like there is no better person than a doctor to explain the cause or the awareness for breast cancer. Let's say, I'm giving you an example. Why do they hire people like us? Well, they don't hire us. At least not me. I do it, right. So, but why do they pick people like us? Why are we given this thing to do?
Yeah.
Because we are able to catch more eyeballs. And because of that, we are able to catch more ears.
Yeah.
So when we talk, people listen. And so that's why we've been given this responsibility to raise awareness. Of course, we don't know the gravity of the situation as well as they probably know. We don't work the way they do. We're not on ground all the time. We're not working with the refugees all the time. We are not putting in the hard work as much as the people who are actually working for UNHCR do. What we do is we bring this cause to all of you guys. We bring awareness because we have our platforms. So I think and yes, it does make a difference. I was actually just yesterday doing a video for Shaukat Khanum,
Mhm.
and you know, I was talking to the doctors, and I've been working with them for 10 years, and they were like, you cannot imagine what a difference you've made. And I was like, no, I haven't. They're like, yes, you have. Anybody who has gone out there, me and several others, for Shaukat Khanum and raised breast cancer awareness, have made a difference.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. And Myra, speaking of like overall, when you look back, what has been your greatest achievement to date? It can be personal and it can be professional, but I would like you to talk more about your personal achievement that's been.
Personal, personal, personal. Honestly, when I now look and I sit in this home that I'm in now,
Mhm.
um, which I've built. Um, I can't tell you, Alhamdulillah, what joy it is, what a feeling it is. And the feeling is that, oh my God, I could do this for my parents and my child and my family. Um, you know, I look at these windows and I'm like, I swear it's like sounds, I don't know, it sounds like soppy or whatever, but like I look at these windows and sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I used to clean windows like these, you know,
Yeah,
back in LA. And I'm constantly in a state of gratitude that I was in a position to do this. And I didn't do it in a hurry. I didn't do it, you know, I didn't do it overnight. I didn't do it in any way that I can't sleep at night with peace, you know. So that's something that I'm proud of myself for.
yeah, yeah. And very lastly, how do you want people to remember you?
I don't know. Mm,
As a kind person. I'm
um, I just, I think, I think that when I go away, I think I would like people to remember me with like a smile on their face, you know.
with,
And I'm sure that a lot of people will remember me with a tear, you know,
yeah,
my close ones. But I would like them to remember me with a smile. Like whenever they talk about me, whenever they think about me, or anything, and they watch me, you know, they see something of mine.
yeah,
Um, Smile with a smile and with joy. So yeah,
perfect. Thank you so much, Myra. It was a pleasure and honor for me to have you.
so
Thank you.
honestly, I just gave another interview, and um, I cannot tell you how nice it was to do this interview. You know, usually it's the same questions and same, and I just, yeah, it was really nice. You made me think about a lot of the questions. You know, I wasn't on auto, which is great. So you're amazing. I'm so glad I did this. Thank you so much.
Much, Myra. You're the best. Thank you so much. That's
Thank you.
now. That's all for now, listeners. Stay tuned for more on my official YouTube channel and Facebook page. Until then, take care. Bye bye.